Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for a stock highlight. Okay, so we're going to be looking at KBX, KNORR. This is a stock that was requested by a member in the Discord, so I'm doing this for you. Pretty much, they actually work at this company, and they just wanted an actual look at how the chart looks and what can be expected and such. But just FYI, you work at the company, so you fundamentally will know a lot more than I do about this specific company. But I'm just gonna look at this purely at a technical level. Okay, so actually it has very little history when we look at the monthly chart, so we can actually drop down from the monthly. But what we do know is obviously it swept the lows that used to be the previous all-time lows at 2020 during the COVID drop. It's gone lower since then. We are this month having a very nice move to the upside, up almost 23%. We could also go to the weekly, but I believe the daily has all the data we need. These higher time frames, it's a little too soon for them. I do see a trend line here that I can draw, but I'll just draw it on the daily. That way it's a little bit clearer for you to see. So what I love about this chart so far is I can clearly see in the short term on the daily chart, the short trend to the downside, the short term trend to the downside clearly has begun to break. Okay, so we are having a change of character, a bullish change of character to the upside to then challenge the much larger macro downtrend that's formed on the weekly and daily. So let's start drawing the trend line so you can get a better view at this. So let's first draw the macro downtrend. So this is the trend line that if this gets broken, okay, if this gets broken to the upside, then watch for a bullish change of character. So we're going to connect this high pivot to this high pivot and have the ray pull all the way down. And as we can see, we are slowly approaching. Actually, let's go right here. There we go. Sorry, they're perfectly drawn now. Okay, so we have these three pivots, high swing lows touching this level. And now we're slowly seeing price, starting to gap up towards that level. Now, will it break that level? It's a bit too soon. It's very unlikely unless something fundamentally changed with the stock for to break it in one go. I do know this gap up we've had here is from a very bullish earnings report. So there was a very bullish earnings report on KBX, and it gave it the fuel to break this short term downtrend right here. So let's take a look right here. So as you can see, broke above the short-term downtrend, so you're connecting all of this price action here. You're connecting this failure to break up here, and then the rejection from the level. Then you had a bullish consolidation coming down here. So what I always look for in these sort of consolidations is some sort of instance of a like just some sort of instance of a wedgish sort of structure, or just some sort of like change of character in the very small short term. So let's just draw these all out so the picture gets clearer and clearer. So take a look at this. All right, so what we're seeing here is we clearly had a microphone structure, a broadening wedge structure going to the downside, which is bullish. Okay, so when you have these structures that are going to the downside, and veering to the downside and not trending, they do tend to have bullish biases. Of course, there are some exceptions. There are some structures that are bearish. Same thing with the upside. If you have a structure that's veering up, so let me just draw it out just so it's very clear. So if you have a structure that's veering up kind of like this, I've said over and over, that has a bearish bias, okay? Unless it's something like a rising pennant. And to spot like a rising pennant, it does take some experience and you have to get used to seeing them. But most of the time they get confused for like rising wedges because those are far more common. Okay, and rising wedges are bearish, and same thing to the downside, right? So you'll have these descending structures that do have a bullish bias, and that could be a broadening structure to the downside or a tightening structure like a wedge. Either way, it does have a bullish bias, and we saw that now play out. For KBX, broke out from this level here, actually came back and tapped the lows, the not just the ascending trend line here, but also the breakout line here, and then gapped up above this short-term downtrend line. And now we are trying to make our way towards this high pivot to take the liquidity that's pulled above that level. But currently we are trading within a very large fair value gap. So we're going to connect this top candle here to this bottom candle right here. And you're seeing now we're starting to trade within the fair value gap. So be on the lookout for a retracement down. However, the retracement down, I would have a bit of a bullish bias, okay, because we are showing signs that we have changed character, and we may just need fuel to break past this fair value gap and start tapping the highs here. Okay, so I am seeing something like this kind of forming. So we've had a very nice move up. We may start a consolidation down. All right, and this consolidation can come all the way back down towards this descending trend line, and it still has an indication, as long as it holds this descending trend line, to have changed character, or at least the beginning of changing character. Now, we have to be very, very careful here. If it does start decisively losing this level, then you just got a nice little rise, little pop in the downtrend, and now you're continuing the overall trend. So just keep that in mind. You also want to watch for this trend line right here. So let me draw this trend line out. I think it's a really good habit, again, to drawing these trend lines, guys, because you'll start seeing some interesting things in the chart. So take a look at this. So this was the bottom of this low wick here and this low wick here, and look where it ends up coinciding. I love seeing things like this in the chart because it adds weight to levels in zones, and clearly this zone is very important. This is why I'm saying watch out for a potential pullback, because price is going to look for fuel. So you're going to look to have a bullish retracement or bullish consolidation to try and break this descending trend line. And if it can break this descending trend line from these lows, then watch for it to come up and probably fill out most of this fair value gap and really try and make a push to break past the liquidity levels here and start touching on this this descending trend line, which is the macro downtrend. Now, let's say it does break the macro downtrend, then you're looking at a really, really nice instance that you're having a major change of character on on the macro, and you could see for months to years to come that KBX will be veering towards the upside. So very, very nice to see. But again, the technicals say one thing, but for the person who asked me to look at this chart, just keep in mind, like, the fundamentals don't really match the bullishness. Just be wary, right? Be wary, because even if the chart's bullish, but the fundamentals that are for sure not bullish, this might just be a rise to trap longs and such, or just a natural pop in a bear market. Okay. And that's it for KBX. Right now, what I would say is look for a pullback. Look for a pullback and a healthy pullback. I will say if it loses this descending trend line, then I would be like, okay, it's most likely this was just a nice little pop in a downtrend, and the larger trend is going to continue lower. But if we do, take out that descending trend line, like I had drawn here, right here, then watch for continuation to the upside and really to take out the liquidities above this high pivot here. Okay. All right, everyone, that's it for KBX. Thanks for watching this stock highlight. Keep looking out for other videos, 'cause I'm gonna be doing a lot more highlights on crypto and stocks. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you are in the Discord, during the free trial, you can actually let me know what stock or crypto you want me to look at, or even commodity. And I'll make a video dedicated to it. So make sure to do that. And after the free trial ends in November, this will be for premium members only. So make sure to check out the premium members and all the offers that you can get if you become a premium member in the Patreon link in the description below. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again. And remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.